Our 10th wedding anniversary was meant to be a celebration of love, patience, and everything we had built together. I had arranged a quiet dinner at a fancy restaurant, reserved a private table, and even ordered a small cake that read to forever. But my wife, Clara, had other plans. She invited her group of friends, loud, sarcastic, the kind who always joked about how men were better trained and loved. I didn't mind at first. I knew Clara liked to laugh with them. That night, however, changed everything. The evening began with laughter, clinking glasses, and stories about marriage. I stayed quiet, smiling, not wanting to intrude on their fun. Then, as the waiter poured champagne, Clara stood with her glass raised. "To new rules for my husband," she said cheerfully. Everyone turned toward her, laughing. "Rule number 1, she continued, voice loud. "He doesn't get to question where I go or who I'm with anymore. Rule number 2, no more boring dinners. I decide where we eat." Her friends laughed harder, clapping and whistling. Clara raised her glass again. "And rule number 3, she said, he finally learns who's in charge." The laughter filled the room. Even the waiter smiled awkwardly, unsure whether to join in or walk away. I sat frozen, a polite smile plastered on my face. The woman I had loved for 10 years, the one who once blushed when I looked at her, was now making me the punchline. I noticed her best friend whisper something in her ear. Clara giggled, glancing at me with a look that said, "Don't take it so seriously." But I did. I set my glass down and waited for the laughter to fade. Then I rose slowly, voice calm but firm. "A toast," I said, and the table went silent. "To my wife." I began, the woman who once promised to be my partner, not my owner, who said we'd build dreams together, not rules. I guess things have changed. So, here's my toast to your freedom. Because from tonight, you don't have to follow any rules either. Not mine, not ours, just your own. The laughter stopped. Clara's smile vanished. Her friends exchanged uneasy glances, sensing something had shifted. "What's that supposed to mean?" she asked, her voice tight. I looked at her and said softly, "It means you wanted independence, Clara. You've got it." I placed my wedding ring on the table beside my untouched glass. The sound of metal against it felt heavier than any words could. Then I turned and walked out. For the first time in 10 years, I didn't look back. Outside, the city air was cold, sharp against my face. I drove home alone, packed a small bag, and left before dawn. I didn't leave in anger. I left in peace, because that night I realized something. Love doesn't survive where respect dies. A week later, Clara called. Her voice trembled. "It was just a joke," she said. Everyone was laughing. "I didn't mean to humiliate you." I sighed. "You didn't just make a joke, Clara. You made a statement. You told everyone I was someone to laugh at." She went quiet. "I never wanted to lose you," she whispered. I replied, "You didn't lose me, Clara. You let me go the moment you stopped treating me as your equal." Months passed. I focused on work, on rebuilding my confidence, on remembering who I was before I spent so much effort trying to please everyone. Then, one evening, I ran into one of Clara's friends at a conference. She looked uneasy. "She's not doing well," she admitted. "She regrets what happened. She thought it was harmless fun, but after you left, she realized how much she took for granted." I just nodded. I didn't feel revenge or satisfaction, just closure. A year later, on what would have been our 11th anniversary, I received a letter from Clara. She wrote, "That night when you left, I finally understood the difference between being admired and being respected. I wanted to impress my friends, but I lost the one person who truly cared about me. I'm sorry." I folded the letter carefully and smiled faintly. Sometimes love doesn't end with hatred. It ends with understanding. But too late. That night, I raised my own quiet toast at home. Not to bitterness, but to growth, to lessons learned. Because sometimes the best reply to humiliation isn't shouting or anger. It's silence, followed by freedom.